Welcome to the latest episode of 5 on the Floor on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Thanks for joining us on your favorite podcast app. On Apple, recommend Apple Podcasts or Spotify. If you're Android, we recommend you check us out on Spotify. It gets up there quicker. We do delay before we put our episodes up on the YouTube channel. Also, check out Off the Floor. That's our Discord server, $2.99 per month. Most heat anywhere, most heat information, conversation, 10 different channels, stage shows, host updates you don't get anywhere else. Twitter organized for you. It's all on Off the Floor. So check it out. Link in the description. You must pay the $2.99. Although you can, just like I just did with most of my streaming services, you can cancel at any time. Also, check out Prize Picks. Hope you played it for the WNBA All-Star Game. WNBA coming back here. Also, MLB is going on, and then we lead up to football season. Prize Picks, use the code 5, F-I-V-E. They give you a free square for the MMA fights yesterday. I won going under on Pacquiao's punches. Lots that you can play on Prize Picks, legal in the state of Florida. Use the code F-I-V-E. And now, today's episode.
Mercy, luxurious, Heat Nation, yeah, Mercy and Lago, down to Biscayne, yay, 5 on the floor, ride for my dogs, where here's the thing, you can check the score, hustle hard, couple scars, wearing bubble frauds, down to Biscayne. Kept the floor playing, got it all banned. Y'all seen the block, stop with one hand. And Pat we trust, Inspire have the guts. We're here to bring the heat, y'all can hang it up.
Welcome to 5 on the Floor, a daily insider show on the Miami Heat and the NBA, featuring Ethan Skolnick, Greg Sylvander, Alex Toledo, Brady Hawk, and others from the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Also, make sure to subscribe to Off the Floor for the most heat anywhere.
All right, we're going back in time here a little bit. I'm Ethan Skolnick. You can follow me at Ethan J. Skolnick at 5 Reasons Sports. I got Eternal Bast. You can follow him at Eternal Bast. There was a time where divisions mattered. The NBA has de-emphasized them to the point that we rarely even discuss divisions or even talk about who's in them or anything along those lines. But in recent years, the Southeast Division, as it stands, has been fairly weak. You have the Heat, but you have the Magic, the Wizards, the Hornets. The Hornets and the Wizards have been rebuilding, it seems like, forever. The Magic have finally kind of got off the mat, and the Hawks have been in this play-in purgatory that the Heat have now found themselves in, although there have been improvements of late. But it does seem like the division is starting to come up a little bit. Washington appears to at least have a plan, which they haven't had. Orlando looks like a top 3 team in the conference, in the Eastern Conference. And I mentioned Atlanta has made some moves, both with some young players and then also with a couple vets, to get better over the past couple of years. Additionally, the Hornets don't look totally lost at this point, although I'll believe it when I see it. But here's what we're going to do to put into context where the Heat are from a roster standpoint. We are going to put together first team, second team, and third team, all Southeast teams going into this season. And so Eternal, I know, and I are going to probably argue about a spot on the first team, but let's just go with trying to construct the best possible starting lineup we can from available Southeast Division players. So this is, again, the Magic, the Heat, the Hawks, the Wizards, and the Hornets. Okay? Mm-hmm. So let's start here. Let's start with the front court. Would Bam Adebayo be your starting 5?
I'm going to make you sweat. And I love this because I love that this was your idea. I just want to give a backstory on this real quickly. My original plan was just to rank just a random top 15 out of the Southeast Division. But you making it first, second, and third team, Ethan, is why you are a long storied journalist. This is chef.
Make me old.
I love it. I love it. So I am picking Bam since I'm going first. You can, go next. Bam, since we're going back in time, Bam is my 4. He's my pick for the 4.
All right. Well, I'm putting Bam on the roster, but I'm having a hard time seeing how he would be the 4 here. Let me just put a second player on the first team, which is Paolo.
Mm-hmm. He would be your 3.
Paolo Banchero. He's going to be your 3.
Okay.
So you're playing big.
Mm-hmm.
And So I'm trying to figure out here who is your 5 because it's not coming from Washington. It is not coming from the Hornets. It is. Are we going with where? Is that what you're doing here, or Okongwu? Who is your 5?
Would be KP, right?
Oh, I forgot about him.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is why I should have reviewed this more carefully. Before, of course, Kristaps Porzingis was traded to the
So
Hawks.
so now you got to go next.
So you're going with Porzingis as your starting 5. Okay, so we go. So your front court is Porzingis, Bam, and Paolo, which I assume is moving Franz Wagner out of the starting lineup. Correct?
No, Franz has played. He has logged minutes at the
You're
2.
playing with the 2.
No, brother, no. I've done my pick. My
1995. Okay.
Now it's
All
your
right.
pick.
So my pick. Okay. All right. Well, I know this is going to go counter to what most people would anticipate here because I don't love his defense, but I do think as far as a playmaker in the starting lineup that I would go with reluctantly because reluctantly I would go with Trey as a starter. Would Trey also be a starter for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we're going how they used to do, right, based off of positions and stuff, because Wade got robbed a lot of the years for the
Mm-hmm.
shooting guard position, right?
Yes.
But Trey, is there a better point guard than Trey in the Southeast Division? No,
Well, I'm not going LaMelo. You can't get me
no,
to do LaMelo. Okay,
no.
because at least I know. Here's the thing: there's a difference between them. And I look, Trey's height's a problem for me. Trey's defense is a huge problem for me. But at least I know this: Trey is playing offense to help others get better. LaMelo does not do that. So I'm going to take LaMelo out of the mix there, and he'll likely be on the second team or third team. But I'm not putting him on the first team. He hasn't proven to be a winning basketball player at this point. To me, okay.
All right.
This is going to create an argument about this last spot. So if we're going Porzingis, Bam, Paolo, you're going with Franz as you're
Mm-hmm.
starting to, and you're going to play big, right? That's what you're doing.
All right. And just to give context, because a lot of times I know people can listen to the pods and lose context. You can go check Basketball Reference. Franz has logged minutes at the 2 for more than like 10 games. Okay.
Can I ask you on this first team, if your first team is going to be Porzingis, Bam, Paolo, Franz, Trey, how much defensive work are you asking Bam to do?
Not a lot. I
A
mean,
lot.
Franz and Paulo are really good defenders.
Yeah, I know, but you're putting them out of position. You're having them guard out on the perimeter a lot more than they typically do, right? I mean, that would be one of my concerns here. And Trey is a sieve, so that's
Well,
an issue.
it depends. Like I think with that starting group, you can do some man to man. You can do some mixtures of 2-2-1s. You can do some 1-3-1. Like you can do a lot of different defensive coverages to kind of take advantage of the height that you have on the back end, and also, Franz can guard, somewhat 1-5, 2-5 for sure. Paolo is a really great perimeter defender as well. So like you're not limited on the other side. If we wanted to do offensive and all NBA, like all defensive, we could do that. We could save that for another pod. But yeah, that's
well, we do have a lot of time to fill. August is going to be a dead zone. But can I make a case for someone else here? And I know you think I'm going to make a case for Tyler, but I can't because I'm starting Trey.
Oh, I know who you're about to say, and I can't argue with there. I can't.
Can
You
I
know
make
what?
a case for Can I make it? Well, there's two guys I can make a case for. I can make a case for Jalen Johnson, and I can make a case for Desmond Bain.
I thought you actually, what you
Jalen
surprised
Johnson,
me.
for those who don't realize, was Atlanta's best player for the majority of last season before he got hurt. He was averaging 19 and 10, I think 4 or 5 assists as well. And he's a better defender than Franz out in space. So can we not make the case? Look, Paolo has to start, Bam has to start, and I'm starting Trey. If you're going with Porzingis, see, I would go with Bam at the 5, but I would go with Bam, Paolo, Jalen Johnson, Bain, and Trey. That would be my 5. Okay, that I would go with Bam, Paolo, Jalen Johnson, Bain, and Trey. That would be my 5. That would give you a little bit of everything. But if you insist on starting Porzingis and you're going to start Franz because you're going with this like 1995 lineup, then I'm asking you though, doesn't it make sense? Would you at least consider Jalen Johnson or Bane as a starter there next to Trey? You're frozen, I think. Okay.
Yeah, I think you can make a very strong case for Desmond Bain. I mean, Dez is proven in the regular season and also in the playoffs. So if you want to go that route, you could. Jalen Johnson, for 2 straight seasons, was looking like an all-star. Probably would have been more than likely would have been picked as an all-star last year, especially as a reserve, with the numbers that he was putting up before he got hurt. Which may have implicated somebody on the Miami Heat roster, but there's neither here nor there.
Well, I know where you're
But
going with that.
I
Yes.
can't say you're wrong, right? Like I think you can go either way with that. Yeah.
All right. So, but let's say we go with your uber big lineup here. So we're going Porzingis, Bam, Paolo, Franz, and Trey. Okay. Let's look at the second team then. This is one of the reasons why I thought about starting Bam at the 5, because I don't really see a clear 5 for the second group now, right? Like who are we talking about? Okongwu? Is that what we're doing here? Because
I
there
think you
isn't
can make a
anybody
case for,
on Charlotte
because
or
I mean,
Washington.
if we're doing this how they actually did the first team, second team, it's like best players at those positions. You know, I can't pick you a better 5 than it, right? So I think the next would probably be, are you putting Wendell? I guess it really depends on how you labeling the positions, right? Because I think
that's why, again, if you're stretching out the positions here, that's why I probably would have put Porzingis as a second team center. But if you're going to go with what you've got here, Wendell Carter Jr., Okongwu, I think either of them ends up being the big on the second team, and then I think you're looking at.
Okay, so wait. So
unless you're going to make an argument for Ware here.
No. So my pick is Wendell Carter Jr. for 5. Who are you picking at 4? So just to make this clear, don't forget about somebody in Washington, because I feel like you're about to.
You going with Alex Sarr
at the 4? Because I'm thinking. Oh no, Jalen Johnson, since he didn't make the first.
Right. That's where I would go. I would put, if you're going to do that, then Jalen Johnson is there, and then let's look at that. He could be 3 or 4, but let's look at the 3 spot now. I mean, does Andrew Wiggins?
Jalen Johnson is your pick, right?
Yes. Does Andrew Wiggins get a look at the 3, or I mean, another guy we could look at if you're balancing the rosters here is Dyson Daniels in Atlanta. Risa Shea, depending on what you think of his upside. Also, I mean, you and I both don't want to pick Miles Bridges for a bunch of reasons, but just on a talent perspective. And also Brandon Miller at the 3, if he develops the way he's supposed to develop.
I think that, oh my God, the second team is so difficult, because I think you have
made it more difficult by putting Porzingis on the first team.
You have a lot of options, right? Because you still have to find room for Jalen Suggs, Tyler Hero, Desmond Bain, Dyson Daniels. Like there's a lot. So since I don't have to deal with that stress, I went first with Wendell Carter Jr. You picked,
and I went with Jalen Johnson, and now you
go
with
my third is going to be Desmond Bain.
So you're putting Desmond Bain on here. Well, then I'm going to do it because I know you're not going to do it. I'm not putting Tyler Hero on the third team in this.
No, Tyler would have been my pick for this. I can't.
I'll put Bain and Hero together in the backcourt. So at least we get Tyler in there. I know that some might make the case, if you want a defensive player there, for Jalen Suggs, who was really coming on before the injury last season. But I'll go with Hero. So you fill out the last spot for the second team. Here's some of the players that are currently available: Suggs, Dyson Daniels, and then we'll come back and do the third team. Suggs, Dyson Daniels. We still have not picked LaMelo Ball.
I was about to say we.
I'm not putting LaMelo ahead of Tyler because Tyler at least attempts to win basketball games, which is not
No, 'cause
something I see when I watch LaMelo Ball. I'm sorry. I don't know what he's doing most of the time.
oh,
Colin
listen.
Sexton, Alex Sarr. We
Damn.
both like Trey Johnson's future.
Okay, hold
And
on,
Chris
wait.
Middleton is old, but he's still a competent basketball player. You know what? I'm gonna
This got
introduce
stressful.
Lynette.
This
I'm
got
gonna give you some
stressful.
time to think about this. Come up with the last player for this. All right, we do want to introduce our friend Lynette. You can find her at insurancebyLynette.com. This was Eternal's idea, by the way. So this is the blame is on him. Aggressive Insurance Agency, insurancebyLynette.com. Car insurance, life insurance, health insurance, all of that. She can serve you from her office in Lauderhill or the entire Tri-County area. Huge Miami Heat fan. For some reason she follows us. She's on all of our platforms. You can find her. You can just reach out to her directly on our YouTube feeds. 954-581-8800. Also a subscriber to Off the Floor. 954-581-8800. Aggressive Insurance Agency. InsuranceByLynette.com. Okay, so the second team now, because you cross-matched all this by putting, too many bigs on the first team. Second team, not surprising for you. Second team, we've got Wendell Carter Jr., Jalen Johnson, Desmond Bane, Tyler Hero. Who is your fifth? How are you filling out this lineup to balance it? You can pick any position, but try to make it workable.
Jalen sucks.
Okay.
Also, too, you just because a player is 6'9" and taller does not make them a big. How they play makes them a big.
I get it. I just want to see Franz guarding in space. That's all. Okay, so second team right now, Wendell Carter Jr., Jalen Johnson, Suggs, Bane, and Hero. So it's my turn. I have to pick somebody for the third team. We do need to get somebody big on there.
Start with the point guard position. Go backwards.
We don't have a point guard on the second team, but we have enough guys. Tyler's running point, I guess.
No, it's Jalen Suggs.
Okay, Suggs or Hero and Bane. So that's your 3-guard rotation. Okay, fine. Third team. The player we have first, Dyson Daniels has to be on one of these teams, right?
He should have been on a second team, but it's just hard. I don't know.
All right, so Dyson Daniels, I'm adding him to the third team. Who else are you adding to the third team? Does LaMelo finally get the call?
I feel like he has to. I feel like it's disrespectful not to put LaMelo there.
Okay, so we've got 3 spots left for this.
Ooh, this is about to get stressful.
I'm putting Brandon Miller on the team.
Yeah, I feel like
there's too much upside there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 2 spots left. We have not picked a single player from the Washington Wizards.
I feel like the last 2 spots, because of what they did last year and upside, I feel like the last 2 spots have. I'm gonna see who you go with. I'm not gonna speak for you, but the 4th spot is going to Alex Sarr. So it's oh my God, Ethan, hold on, time out.
What?
Brandon Miller or Zachary
Ricochet. I don't know how to pronounce it. I mean, Miller's further along, right? I mean, because he's one more year in. He was a little bit older when he came in. Not much. I think it's Brandon Miller, although I liked what I saw from Ricochet last year. I also love what I see from Trey Johnson. I think he may end up being a first-team guy here in a couple of years. I know that's Adele's guy too. And then if you were going to go with a vet, you could say Middleton, McCollum, Wiggins.
Oh my God, we left out Wiggins.
Mm-hmm. See, the conference has improved a little bit, but let me ask you this question before we finish this up. Is there anybody else from the Heat? Because the reason for this exercise was to show how, from a talent level perspective, they're not really above a lot of these teams in the conference anymore. And I'm looking at the rest of the Heat, and I'm saying, okay, there's Wiggins. Oh, wait a second. What are we doing here? Where's Norpel?
Okay, let's start this one. Okay, listen. Damn, Norm Powell got to go on the second team. He has to go. He was playing in a much harder conference and
I
that's the
can't believe we
only
have to
reason.
force feed Wendell Carter Jr. onto the second team. Could we just replace that? Could we just move Wendell Carter Jr. off of that, put Norm on the second team, and we're just gonna go with small ball, I guess. We're gonna go with because you made us go with big ball for the first team. So we'll just go with small ball for the second team. Norm Powell cannot be is Norm Powell a top 10 player in this division? I think so. Yes, right?
Yes, if you could
Okay,
make a case that
so
he's top 5.
okay, right.
Well, not
So
top
if that's the
5.
case,
Shit.
yeah. All right, so I'm putting Norm on the second team. We're taking Wendell Carter Jr. off. So now we're down to one spot on the third team. You got LaMelo Ball, Dyson Daniels, Brandon Miller, and Alex
No,
Sarr. It's hard for me.
you got to take either Tyler or Dez off for
No,
the
we
second.
don't. Well, no, at this point, you sort of made it 5 best players, so that's fine. Third team, Ball, Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels was an elite defender last year. He has to be on one of these 3
Oh yeah,
teams.
absolutely, yeah.
Brandon Miller, number 2 overall pick, right? He's starting to live up to it. Again, if he stays healthy, got to be there. Sarr. So you like Sarr better than Risha Shea? Because I think that's the question here.
See, that's I feel like for the third team, Alex and Khalil did a lot as rookies, and
Yeah.
their upside is really high as far as like what their ceiling is and what the next step looks like for them. I think you can make a strong case that they have to be on the third team. Where it gets
Okay.
tricky is the Zach, Andrew Wiggins, like all of that there.
Okay. Here's a way to look at it. If I was to say to you right now, at this stage of their careers, who would you take, Wiggins or Middleton?
Wiggins, no question.
Okay. All right. Wiggins or McCollum?
I got to go Wiggins again.
I would take Wiggins. Okay, so we're crossing those 2 off. And as far as a young player, if I was to say you got one spot here or 2 spots, because Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball, Dyson Daniels are there. We could put Wendell Carter Jr. here, but that's boring. We could put Okongwu here too, because he's obviously elevated in
Well,
Atlanta.
that's Alex Sarr. I feel like Alex Sarr and Khalil are the
Okay, so I was to say to you, if I was to say to you, upside here, okay, 2 spots: Alex Sarr, Risha Shea, Ware, Trey Johnson, Con Knipple, Bub Carrington. Those are all the young guys competing for 2 spots. You tell me which 2 have the best futures. Jovic. Last year we would have said Hawkes.
right. I mean, shit. So let's. You good, man? You good, Ethan?
No, I'm not actually. I'm
You
not.
good.
I waited to put Norm Powell on until we were already on the third team, and then just remembered that the Heat acquired him. We're giving Wiggins a spot on the third team, so we're choosing one young player. Okay.
Are you? So wait. Are you picking Wiggins over Brandon Miller?
No, well, I'm just deciding here. Ball, Daniels, Brandon Miller, and Wiggins on your third team. You get to
I
pick
feel like
one young guy.
I feel like if you had your way,
Sarr,
you would take LaMelo off.
completely. Yes, I would. But I can't. I mean, the guy, he was a near all-star last year. I mean, he had like the most votes, right?
Yeah.
Sarr, I'm looking at here at a Sarr, Trey Johnson, Risa Shea, Knipple, Ware, Jovic. Some of the young guys on these teams. Bub Carrington, Koulibaly. You get one.
So out of all of them,
You get one. We got one spot left.
that's insane.
And I took Wendell Carter Jr. off because we decided we're playing without a big. Spose coaching.
That's okay. All right. So listen. All right. So let's just list that third team again. We're gonna do this. Okay. You said
I'm going to give you the teams again, and we do need to close this because we're spending 7 minutes just going over what we've already done. First team, you decided on Porzingis. So Porzingis, Bam, Paolo, Franz, and Trey. Second team, this is totally positionless. Jalen Johnson, and then we're going to shoot you out of the gym. Suggs, Bain, Hero, and Powell. Okay. Third team, Ball, Dyson Daniels, Brandon Miller, Andrew Wiggins, because we say one veteran spot. We took him over Middleton and McCollum and
So no,
Bridges.
no. You made me
Personal
choose. You
reasons.
got to choose between Brandon Miller and Andrew Wiggins.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
You got one.
You already
You
got
got a choice.
Dyson Daniels.
We got a choice. We're losing downloads as we speak. We got a choice from one young player. No, I'm letting you make the final choice here. Sar, Risa Shea, Okongwu, Carrington, Koulibaly, Knipple, Ware, Jovic, Anthony Black, Jaquez. Those are some of the young players that are in this mix here in this division.
Ethan, this is bullshit. You have to choose between Brandon Miller and Andrew Wiggins.
I don't have to do anything. Trey Johnson is the highest upside of all those players. Do you think?
No, okay. So this to be very, very clear, I think Trey Johnson can play himself by next offseason into the first team. I think he will have that type of rookie year.
I agree.
But this is insane because just to make this clear, I would have picked for the 4 and 5 spots since we went positionless for the second team. I would have picked Alex Hart and Khalil Ware. All right. Now, if you ask me who has the best ceiling out of all the young players in the division, is Trey Johnson, hands down.
I agree.
Down. Now we can have a conversation after that, but Trey Johnson, hands down. Now, my third team would be LaMelo, Dyson Daniels. I guess you got to put Andrew there. Alex Hart and Khalil Ware. That's how I would do it.
So you know Brandon Miller.
I think if we're doing just at this juncture, I'm picking Andrew Wiggins.
Okay. Well, you're kind of going a little bit more position there. I think Brandon Miller's got to be on our top 3 teams. Anyway, overall point here, okay, and we'll try to sort this out afterwards. Overall point here, okay,
we should do a
is that this basically was a clown show. Here, look. Overall point is that the Heat's talent level is kind of average in this division, right? There are some teams that have higher upside young players potentially, like a Trey Johnson, because they picked higher, right? A couple of these teams have been tanking forever. Okay, I mean, look where LaMelo was drafted, look where Brandon Miller was drafted, look where Trey Johnson was drafted, as opposed to where the Heat have been drafting. So that should be the case. And then in terms of young players who are on the come up, like you look at Orlando, Paolo was a number 1 overall pick, Franz was a top 10 pick, Suggs was a top 10 pick. This is what's going to happen here. The Heat's talent level is kind of, like I said, it's kind of in between. They've got, you could argue that Bam is certainly the best defender in this. Well, Bam, Daniels, Suggs, I think, are the best defenders in this division. But then you take a look at overall all-star potential in this division. Basically, Bam, Paolo, Trey, and Tyler have been. Powell was close last year. Jalen Johnson could have been. Porzingis has been way back when, right? LaMelo has been voted into that. Brandon Miller and Trey Johnson, I think, have that potential. So the division overall has gotten a little better. The Heat's talent level, I think, more towards the middle. They don't have the highest upside young guys. They don't have maybe the most impactful two-way players, because Paolo, I think, would probably be one there potentially this year. But they're kind of, again, still in this mix. So that's the way we'll do it. You and I will sort this out afterwards. We're never doing this again. Go ahead.
Now, to be very clear, I would have, had he played the whole season, I would have included Nico over Andrew, because you've done this a lot. I wanted to address this about to find the role. And Spo did say he had a role before he got hurt. 39 games before he got hurt. He was averaging 12, 4, and 4 on 50, 40, 80.
I'm a Jovic guy, so I think he has the chance to kind of move up into this mix. All right, thanks, Eternal. We appreciate it. Again, throw more ideas at me and I'll bungle them. At insurancebylinet.com, prize picks, use the code FIVE. Listen to this one at the pool.